All right, so we can talk about goal setting for a bit. So, oh man, it's so vitally important to set goals, and I think that's probably the one thing that has changed a lot within me and within my life. I think a lot of things, um, for us, it's easier to just not set goals and kind of just go with the flow and see where life takes us. But then the problem with that is that's when negativity and people with no goals kind of take us to places, and then you find that in 5 years' time, when you look back to your life, you ask yourself, "Kusendenzeni ntoni, man, like, qhubeke ntoni ngolife wami?" And then you find that nothing's gone on, so then how's that going to be any different to the rest of the 10 years that you're going to live, or 15 or 20 years? Then you find you're living a life with no purpose, you know so I think a lot of goal setting has helped with my life a lot, because I've learned what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and I'm honest about that with myself. So then the goals that I set with that thought process in mind. And like I hear a lot of guys at Gasi and everywhere else actually, where they'll be like, hey, um, ndakhula umjito tswembi kwidiski, okanye nditswembi endaweni ethile, entweni ethile, nditswembi ekubhaleni and all that stuff. And it's like, but then what do you have to show for it now? And then boom, it's an excuse. Hey, yeah, man, dude, ndasela, and then ndachaya, and then ndadibana nabantu abarongo and all of this stuff. And it's like, so then how do we keep making the same mistakes, like day in and day out and generation in and generation out? We need to understand that this generation is no different to the previous one, and it's going to be no different to the next one if we keep doing the same things now that the previous people did and the previous people and the previous people. So it's crucially important to listen, but listening to understand and not just to respond. That's a very different thing to kind of listen to just retaliate to someone's thoughts. You need to listen and understand and break it down and think, what did he mean when he said that? And then ask questions, and then you'll find answers there. If you're afraid to kind of ask questions, and you know better than you were the day before. But if you ask a question today and then it was a stupid question, then tomorrow you find a better way to ask that question. That's why I guess teachers always say they are not stupid questions, because you learn from negativity and positivity. It depends on what you want to learn. So again, going back to goal setting, I think it's very important to kind of write down stuff. I've noticed that I'm good at writing, or when I write stuff, it's better for me to kind of understand it, because it's coming from my brain straight into my hand, straight to what I'm writing. And then when I read it, I'm like, oh, okay, no, that's exactly what I wanted to say. So I've written down my goals in terms of, well, where am I at now, and where would I like to be in 3 years' time, and then literally just write every single aspect of my life. I want to do this, I want to do that, then this, then that, then this, then that, and this and that. Almost writing for someone else that I really care about. Like, where would I want to see my child? And kind of write it like that, And then when I read it, I'm like, whoa, man, jeez, is that even possible? Like, the way I'm going at right now, it doesn't seem like this and this and this and that. Wow. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Now let me write why I wouldn't get there, or what would make me not get there. Sorry. So, what are the things right now that I'm going through, or that could be the worst things for me to reach what I want to reach in 3 years' time? And then be honest with myself. Oh no, I do this, and then I drink too much about this, and then drink too much, or I smoke too much, or whatever it is as a person that you do, that that I listen to my friends too much. I'm not confident enough. I post too much. I do this. I spend time. I don't spend enough time doing that. And then you have your contrast. You have the things that you really want, and then you have the things that will hinder what you do want, right? And then you say to yourself, well, then, with these negatives, if I actually keep going on it this way, where would my life end up? Then you look at all these negatives. Well, if I drink too much now, and then I smoke too much now, and then I don't gym now, then this happens. What happens? What's going to happen in 3 years? You can kind of predict that, because you'll be like, I doubt that I'll be doing. I'll probably then be even drinking even more. I'll probably be smoking even more. I'll probably be even bigger than I am now. Now you have things what you want, your dreams, and then you have your negative or your barriers, and then here you have who you would be if you carry on the way that you are doing. So now you look at it and you're like, well, this is kind of straightforward. If I want to reach what I want to reach, I need to kind of cut the middle part down. If I don't want to reach where I don't want to where I want to reach, then I can just kind of live the life that I'm living. And then there you'll find the answers. And then you'll find that then once you do that, and the more specific you become, the more then your days will be shaped. Then you find that then if someone calls you and says, listen, bro, do you want to go out for a drink this weekend? And you realize, you know what, actually I have a soccer match this weekend, or I have an interview on Monday, or I have something that I need to really do, because once I go through that interview, that's going to bring me one step closer to the dreams that I want, instead of the other way around. If I don't go to the interview, then that's going to make me get to where I don't want. Then that decision's pretty simple then you understand, man, no man, fit sir, I'm gonna say Friday, man. Yeah, well, let me just go and relax, train on Friday, be around positive people. Saturday, go wake up, play the best that I can play, and then be happy about that performance. And then Sunday, I can still go and have a drink if I want. Or if it's a job, like a job offer, for example, then say to myself, you know what, let me work on my CV on Friday. And then Saturday, let me do the same thing. And then I know that Sunday, I can chill, work on that, talk to people about what I need to do to kind of go into the interview, what I need to do to kind of change, and what can I do better. And you get as much information as you can. And then Monday, you go to the interview, and then you find that you're happy with it. You're happy with yourself because you've understood why you're doing what you're doing. You found a purpose in what you're doing. And then the more you then do what you want to do, the less you then end up as being the person that says, oh, you know what, I fell off, bro. I fell off the boat, He doesn't say, man. And then, and it's like, well, now you changing yourself. And through changing yourself, you're a positive influence into someone else. Now you're a role model. Now that's what we lack in life, especially for guys. We lack role models. We lack people that we can look up to. Because those people need role models. Now you're your own role model, and that's gonna influence people in your family, your brother, your sister, and then that's gonna influence their friends, and more and more and more. And then before you know it, you've changed yourself, and you've changed everyone else around you just by changing yourself and focusing on yourself. And now the future generation you don't have to tell them, oh yeah, you know what, I used to be good at this, but then no buts, no excuses. You used to be good at it, you tried it, and then it's either you failed or you didn't. There's no excuses for it because you tried your best, and that's the best thing that you can ever do. So, yeah, if you want to go through it and you want to discuss things like that, like, I also need motivation every now and then, man. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that can help with stuff like this. Yeah, I've written so many things, man. You can, for the past weeks or so, kind of just critique my whole life. Yeah, if you wanna, I can send screenshots for you, and kind of see how deep I get into all these things. That'll change your life, man. And that's it. That's all I have to say.